October 17th of 2011, we had a windstorm come through and blow our steeple off the top of the church. It landed on the southwest side of the church, slid down the side of the church into an air conditioning unit, and there it lay. On the 18th of October, the secretary at the church called me and told me about it, so I came up to church to take a look. Sure enough, it was off, laying where she said it was laying. So we called the roofing company that had done the roof for us about 3 months before this to come by and look at it. They did. They climbed the roof, they took some pictures on video, and decided that it was not their job and it wasn't part of their project, so they weren't going to do anything about it. So I said, okay, so I went from there to the insurance company. Andy Jinks, which is a local adjuster for the insurance company, Church Mutual, he got into the mix, and between him and I, over the next 3 months, we contacted like 4 or 5 local companies to come by and look at this project to see if they could do something about it. No one would do anything. No one would show up. No one would come by. No one would respond to any of our calls. So one day, I got a call from the secretary at the church. She said there was a man here named Mario Canones from Midwest Homes. Wanted to know if he could look at the roof, look at the steeple, and see if there's anything they could do. And I said, well, sure. Do you need me? And they said, no, we don't need you right now. I said, okay, I'll check back later. So I did. And when I came back later, Mario had been on the roof, had taken some pictures, had covered the holes in the roof that if the first roofers would have at least done that, we would not have had the leaks into the church. Because of the interest that Midwest Homes, Steve O'Rourke, and Mario Canones showed in this project, we elected to go with Midwest Homes. After visiting several times on the phone, my apprehension kind of disappeared. I felt more and more secure each time we talked because of the information that Steve was sharing with me about who he was going to contact. He was going to contact local contractors, local workers to do all the jobs so that if anything happened, we wouldn't have to worry about going 15 hours away to have a contractor come in to fix something that wasn't quite right. We'd have local people to deal with. And as it turned out, we do. There's only one that's not local, and that's the man that's here today, putting the steeple on. There's no one in Abilene, or even close to Abilene, that deals and builds steeples and installs steeples on churches. But this man and his crew came in yesterday with the steeple and the base and the cupola and everything, and they're installing it all today. Everything's going to look great. But Steve and his company worked with me very closely on what we wanted, what we as a church wanted, and what we as a congregation wanted. And I'll tell you right now, we're completely satisfied. In fact, we're satisfied to the point that you may hear some drilling or some grinding going on in the background. That's because when they did the sanctuary and put the new carpet in, they put the wrong kind of bolts in for the pews, and they could not get the pews stabilized and secured to the floor, where they had to come back and re-secure all the pews. And that was just as much Steve getting into it as it was me talking to the carpet guys. But anyway, Steve has been on top of it. It's been great to work with. I like this phrase, no mulligans, and I agree with that. When you do something, do it right the first time, and you're finished with it, don't have to go back. So I agree with that.